A man came into my office on a Wednesday and told me he wanted to leave everything behind. Not the house, the accounts, his photos, his follower count, the whole online version of himself.
I built a whole life in there. Somebody should get it.
I told him he'd come to the right desk. I filed digital estates. Then I told him he owned less of that life than he thought. Almost none of it is property. It's permission. And permission does not survive you. He slid a list across the desk. His email, his photos, his music, his movies, 30,000 followers. I explained what that list actually is. Every line on it is a license, not a deed. Held in the company's name, not yours, and it ends the moment the terms say it ends. You don't hand down an account the way you hand down a watch. There is no account in your name to hand down. There's a login and a company that owns the door.
So, I rent my whole life?
You lease it, monthly usually. And the lease has a clause about what happens when you stop logging in. Every platform has quietly built the same thing, a switch that trips when you go silent. They don't call it a will, they call it inactivity. Google's version has a name, the inactive account manager. You pick the weight, 3, 6, 12, or 18 months. Up to 10 people get notified. They receive a download link, not your login, and that link expires in 3 months. 10 people, a copy instead of the keys, and a 3-month window. Your friends don't inherit your inbox, they inherit a zip file and a deadline.
What if I want them to actually get in?
You can't give them that. You were never holding it. Apple built its own version. It does not talk to Google's, and neither talks to anyone else. 2 different companies, 2 different switches, no shared standard. Apple lets you name up to 5 legacy contacts. Each of them needs an access key and a copy of your death certificate before they can pull a single photo. An access key and a death certificate. 2 documents your family has to find in a drawer during the worst week of their year.
I'll just text them the key now.
Then anyone holding your phone has it too. That's the trade. Convenient or safe. Pick one. And even with every key in hand, some of it simply does not transfer. The movies and music you bought, the books you bought, your subscriptions, and every password and passkey you saved. The movies were always a rental with a longer name. Your heirs get the photos and lose the keychain that was guarding them.
I paid for those movies.
You paid to watch them. The receipt said so, in a font too small to read at the time. Most people set none of this up, so I told him what happens if he does nothing, which is what almost everyone does. If an account just goes quiet, the company eventually decides you're gone. Google gives you 2 years. 2 years of silence and a personal account. The mail, the photos, the whole archive can be deleted. Not locked. Deleted.
Even the photos.
Especially the photos. They're the heaviest thing to store and the easiest thing to erase. There's a quieter version too. The card on file expires, the payment fails, and the cloud that was holding your memories stops holding them. Call it subscription death. Your photos outlive you by exactly 1 failed payment.
That's grim.
It's automatic. Grim would require someone to decide. Nobody decides. A billing system just stops. He asks whether the law helps. It tries. Almost every state now has a rule that lets the person settling your estate ask a company for your data. But the law only lets your executor ask. The company still points to its own terms, its own access key, and the process you never finished.
So the law says please.
The law says please, with a court order attached, and probate has never been famous for its speed. Then I showed him the part nobody plans for, not one account, all of them, at once. Every one of these platforms is filling with the dead faster than it ever planned. The accounts don't close, they just stop moving. One Oxford study ran the numbers. On the current path, up to 4.9 billion accounts belonging to people who have died by the end of this century. And on a slower projection, somewhere in the 2070s, the dead on these networks could quietly begin to outnumber the living.
So it turns into a graveyard.
The largest graveyard ever built, and nobody agreed to dig it. Every profile a headstone that still suggests you send a message. I asked what he wanted done with his own, knowing all of it.
Honestly, just let it go quiet.
That's what most people choose, not a plan, a slow fade, and a billing system that finishes the job. He signed nothing. He didn't have to. Doing nothing is already the most popular option on the form. You don't inherit an account, you inherit a countdown. And the meter was running the whole time you were reading the terms you didn't read. Subscribe if you like. It'll keep the lights on, for now.